Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Walking Through Real Solves. Today's episode, as well as next week's episode, will be solves that have ZBLL at the end. So let's get started. First solve, for this one I did red. We have this edge here solved. We have this edge move away from solved. And this one can just kind of swing in like that. And then this one's falling at the top. So what I did here is actually pretty basic. I did this and that one like that. And my first pair that I was looking ahead to, I guess, was this, considering how I did the last cross edge. So solve those two cross edges like that. So you see there and there. And then I have this, and instead of doing that, I was looking for this pair. And I guess from here the pair wouldn't have been that bad, but anyways, what I did was I inserted like that, just to put these both on top. And I just solved this pair rotationless like so. So here and here. And then here I see this pair right in front of me, so I just solved that in the back. Split them up and then insert. Here I had two not too super great pairs. This pair especially was really bad, but I noticed this edge here was in the back, and for the corner here I was able to keyhole the edge in pretty easily just by doing D, insert like that, D prime. If I had like extra good awareness at the time, I would have probably done D, insert small U prime to make this rotationless as well, but I did it the more basic way, I guess. And I just solved this pair like normal, you know, split them up and put them in. And then this ZBLL, this one is basically, you know, fat left sexy sledge into H perm, which is visible here, because this block usually preserves, but now it's an H perm. And this one you just do F double sexy F prime, you know, F sexy sexy F prime, and then you have sexy sledge OLL, and then you're done, and then just a U2 to AOF. So that's a cool case. The mirror isn't as good, you'd probably want to learn a better alg for that. In fact, I've actually been meaning to, so yeah, so that was the first solve. Alright, second solve. Here I again did red cross, and unlike last time I made very good use of my inspection. I was actually able to plan X cross with a free pair, even though there's seemingly not too much on red. There's like these two edges here and then not much else, but I got an X cross and a free pair out of it. So, oh yeah, and it was all like influence and stuff as well. So the free pair was this corner and this edge here, because you can kind of pair them up like that, which works well in relation to where this cross edge is. And then my X cross was actually these two pieces. I started by, whilst pairing these up, I was able to insert this edge in the back, and I was able to keyhole this in before finishing the cross. So what it is, while I solved this cross edge with these two edges here, I did the U2R, which makes this pair, and inserted that edge. And that just leaves me with this cross edge here, so I did D prime L to solve it. Then I keyholed this in back there, like that. As you can see the corners there, edges there. And then a D prime to finish the cross like that, and I had this free pair here. So just through inspection I was able to pretty much plan a double X cross more or less, and I just had two pairs to go, starting with this here, which I believe I did like that. And then this corner and this edge here. And I've stopped going for VLS all the time, especially when it's a sledge case, or just something like an EO, I guess easily. Mostly just for sledge really. I've stopped doing VLS just because I'm trying to learn most, if not all, of ZBLL by some point. I'm making pretty good progress, so I don't feel too bad by skipping out on VLS, just because usually sledge into ZB is better than taking an OLL skip into some PLL. So I solved this pair like that, ignoring the VLS, even though this case isn't too bad. You can do that if you want to slow that down. But yeah, I did sledge. U2, recognize the case. I see this big block here, and it's a diag swap because these match, these match. So the alg for this is that. And the cube is solved. Solve number 3. Once again, I did red cross, and I don't know why this keeps happening, but yeah, more red cross for you guys, cool. So these two edges solved in relation to each other, this one's, you know, hanging around here. And then we have this and this, which is, you know, pretty much just a free X cross. And then the first pair I was going to do was this and this. So yeah, pretty straightforward X cross, just did D2R to get this in here, and I got all these three. That just moves this edge up here for my first pair. And then D prime to solve those three. U, make the block, L prime, X cross done. Then I just did this pair here, like that, which makes this free pair here, which would be a dream F12 if it wasn't for this crap here that couldn't really prevent super well. So, edge control, do that, then solve this pair like normal. And then this ZBLL case, I recognize it by knowing pretty much blue here, green here, opposite colors, and then this one has to go up there like that. And it's 2GLL, these match and these are opposites. A better way to recognize it would probably be like matching bar here, but I'll transition to that later. I can recognize like this fairly fine, just as long as I like keep track of stuff as I'm AOFing. So yeah, this alg, very similar to the standard OLL, or COLL or whatever, except at this point in the alg you just do an R, continue like normal, and then just have to insert a pair, like that. So yeah, that's a really easy one to learn. I'd recommend people learn that. Alright, solve number 4 of 5, and you guessed it, red cross. So, I don't know, it's just one of those episodes, I guess. So, these two here, in place, wrong position, this one here, can be solved in relation to that very easily, and then this here. Looking back, I feel like maybe I should have done something like that, but at the same time that makes this pair not rotationless unless you rotate for the rest of the cross. So I don't know. What I ended up doing was, I did a B prime to start, to make these two opposite, and then I kind of solved these two. So that gets those two there. Then D2 R prime gets that here, as you can see, which then swings that out. And all of this is just leaving this pair here. And then D2 R D prime to finish, and just insert the pair. So I don't know, I guess that was okay, but maybe should have considered the other way. But anyways, this pair here, split them up, as you can see. And then insert. Rotate, this corner's here, edges here, just bam bam. And then here's another example of where I could have just done VLS, but I'm sort of training myself to not do the sledge VLSs, at least at the moment, because I'm not convinced that, you know, sledge VLS into PLL is better than sledge ZB. So that, and this VLS, which I ignored because I just did sledge. But to showcase the VLS anyways, for those who are curious, with this corner here and this here, it looks like that, which would have given me a V perm. So very happy with my decision here to just sledge, U, and then the ZBLL. Similar cases before, it's a lefty sexy sledge, except this time instead of being an H perm, you have a little pair here and then opposites here. So this one you just take out the right pair, and then you have this winter variation, which you may or may not know. Looks like that. So that was that solve, and now on to solve 5, and I'm hoping this isn't another red cross because that would just be weird, so we'll see. Alright, no red cross for this one, so that's cool. But I mean, still, getting 4 out of 5 red crosses out of solves I chose randomly, or at least not based on cross color, is kind of stupid. But anyways, so for this one, I did blue. These two are solved in relation to each other. This one, I move away from that, and then this one's in a good spot. I could have done an X cross by keyholing this into the back, because even though it's hard to see, this corner does end up solving itself by doing R2 D prime R, like that, which is how I would have started the cross. But I actually ended up doing something cooler with this pair here. So anyway, cross edges here, solve this one with R2, put this one in with D prime R, which makes this. And I could have keyheld that like that, but I actually did something better, believe it or not. So I did D2, and then for this case, what you can do is you can put this corner over here, with the edge in the back, and doing that will solve it, which is R2 YDU, R2 YDU prime R2. And also, when this corner is solved in the back and you have this edge here, again similar, opposite colors, blah blah blah, doing that same algorithm will solve it. So what did I do? Well, I inserted this edge, put this corner over the top, and then did that to multi-slot, which is pretty next level by my standards at least. And I rotated here and I did this pair, just split them up, pair it in, put that in, and then last pair is just here and here, standard, just hide the edge over here, get a free pair. And then this ZBLL, way I recognize it, these two colors are opposite, these two colors are the same, these two edges need to switch. Pretty easy to see. And the algorithm goes like this. Like that. So it's pretty much just, grab another cube. If you know this way of doing this alg, instead of just doing the sexy sledge way, you can also do it like that, which is pretty much just taking this pair out here, and you get this winter variation with a cancellation. So this alg pretty much just starts out like that, and then you have anti-soon, which you also cancel into. So yeah, very easy alg to learn. But that's it for this video, so thanks for watching and see you next week.